The sky above Earth was clear. No sign of trouble, no sign of war. But everything changed in 1 second. A strange red symbol appeared on every screen across the planet. Phones, TVs, tablets, billboards, even smartwatches. It didn't matter if someone was rich or poor, young or old. They all saw it. One glowing symbol, one message, one warning. At first, people thought it was a hack, a prank. But then the symbol moved. It turned slowly, then stopped. And in every language spoken by humans it said, "Surrender your planet to the Galactic Council or be destroyed." Panic exploded like wildfire. News channels didn't know what to say. Military bases across the world were on high alert. Air traffic was frozen. Power grids were checked for breaches. But there was nothing. No attack, no ship in sight. Just the message. In Washington, President Aria Lynn stared at the screen in the war room. Her generals looked pale. Her science advisors whispered behind her. No one had ever heard of a Galactic Council, not officially, but in a bunker in northern Canada, a woman named Captain Raina Cole stood up from her chair. She wasn't surprised. She had been waiting for this moment. Raina was not just a soldier. She was a ghost from Earth's black projects, the kind of missions no one talked about. She had seen signs over the years, strange signals from deep space, satellites vanishing without reason, moon craters that looked too fresh. The government ignored her reports. They said she was paranoid, but now they were listening. A second message came. This one was worse. It listed 10 cities: New York, Tokyo, Paris, Moscow, Beijing, Mumbai, Lagos, London, Sao Paulo, Sydney. The voice said, "These cities will be erased in 7 Earth days if no surrender is given." The world froze. Children cried. People ran to stores to grab food. The stock markets crashed, but Raina didn't freeze. She opened a locked cabinet in her underground base. Inside were blueprints, codes, and access keys to a forgotten defense system, Project Skyburn. It was built 22 years ago in secret and shut down due to budget cuts. Only Raina had access now. She contacted a few trusted allies, a hacker from Seoul, an AI engineer from Kenya, a space pilot who had been dishonorably discharged from the lunar fleet. They all answered the same way: "We're in." Meanwhile, Earth's leaders argued. The United Nations held an emergency meeting. Some countries wanted to surrender. Others wanted to hide and hope the aliens would go away. Very few wanted to fight. Raina watched the meetings. She shook her head. "They'll talk until the sky burns," she said. So she started planning. Her goal was not survival. Her goal was resistance. In the sky, satellites began picking up new objects. They were not stars. They were not asteroids. They were moving fast, and they were heading toward Earth. The media tried to calm people down, but the fear was real. "Is this the end?" one boy asked his mother on live TV. She couldn't answer. No one could. But in her hidden base, Raina smiled coldly. She looked up at the star map on her wall. Each light represented a known alien signal detected in the last decade, she whispered. "I warned them, and now they're here." One final message from the Galactic Council arrived. 7 days. That was all it said. Raina sent a secure message to President Aria Lynn. It was short. "I have a plan, but we must act now." The president hesitated, but with panic rising and time running out, she gave the green light. Just 4 words. "Do whatever it takes." Raina's eyes hardened. She activated Project Skyburn for the first time in 2 decades. Earth had received the warning, but its answer was coming, not in words, but in fire. The air on Earth was still, but fear moved through the world like a storm. The Galactic Council had promised destruction. Now they had sent the list. It came as a pulse, one bright burst of energy sent straight into Earth's satellites. No hacking, no data trail, just one glowing map. It showed 10 cities, blinking red, targets. Earth's deadline had begun. The message was clear. These cities will be erased on the 7th day, 1 per day, until surrender is complete. Panic grew faster now. In New York, millions tried to escape. In Tokyo, underground shelters were filled within hours. Beijing sent jets into the sky, hoping to find something, anything. But the skies were still, empty. That made it worse. In the chaos, most world leaders froze. Debates filled the airwaves. Should we talk? Should we surrender? Should we trust them? Captain Reyna Cole had no time for questions. She was already building Earth's answer. Inside her underground base, once forgotten, now alive, Project Skyburn hummed back to life. The lights, the machines, the weapons, the AI cores, all were waking up. Reyna had gathered her team. Tariq, the AI codebreaker, Lena, the lunar pilot with nerves of steel, Ju, the old war scientist who vanished after his weapons were banned by the UN. They didn't ask why. They only asked how soon. Above them, alien ships had reached Earth's orbit, but still stayed hidden behind the moon, watching, waiting. Cowards in armor. Reyna called them ghosts. Ghosts that thought humans would beg, but humanity wasn't begging. Not yet. Reyna broke into a secure satellite line and hijacked Earth's global communication grid. Her face appeared on screens across the planet. Not a politician, not a general, just a soldier. But her voice was firm. "The Council sent us a list," she said. "We are making our own." The message was simple. Her team would build Earth's count. Air attack. She didn't ask for votes, she didn't wait for approval, she just told the truth. "This is not a fight to win," Reyna said. "This is a fire to survive." That night, the first alien probe entered Earth's atmosphere. It was shaped like a black needle, silent and glowing with blue veins. It hovered above Moscow, then fired a warning beam straight into the clouds. The clouds didn't vanish. They exploded. The people screamed. Reyna watched from her command station. She wasn't scared. She was angry. Ju, the old scientist, stood beside her. "They're testing us," he said. "No, they're trying to scare us," Reyna replied. "It won't work." Using broken alien signals collected over the years, Tariq hacked into one of the probes. It was dangerous. The code was alive, like it could feel someone watching, but he didn't back down. He broke through. What he found shocked everyone. It wasn't just a threat. It was a plan. The Council had created a full schedule. Each city had a time and date, and something else. Numbers, estimated death counts. They had already calculated how many humans would die in each strike as if they were planning a fireworks show. Reyna stared at the data, then turned to Lena. "Do we have enough power to launch Skyburn yet?" "One cannon," Lena said. "Just one." "Good," Reyna whispered. "Make it count." While the world held its breath, Reyna's team sent Earth's first message back into space. It wasn't a message of peace, it wasn't a cry for help, it was a targeting lock. The probe over Moscow was still hovering, still watching. Reyna pressed the button. A flash of white light burst from Earth's orbit. Skyburn's test cannon. It hit the probe like a hammer of lightning. Silence. Then the probe vanished in fire. People across Russia stared at the sky. They had expected death. They saw defense. Reyna didn't smile. There was no time for that. Just sin. Council would respond, and they would respond hard. She looked at the next city on the Council's list, Paris. Then at her map, she circled it with red ink. "Not today," she said. Because Earth was no longer waiting. Earth was answering, and the fire had only just begun. The seventh day began with silence. Too quiet, too calm. No traffic in the skies, no broadcasts on the news, just a single countdown ticking across every screen on Earth. There's hours left. People gathered in churches, underground shelters, and military bunkers. Others stood under the open sky, staring, waiting. Everyone knew what was coming. They just didn't know when or where. Captain Reyna Cole hadn't slept. Her eyes were red, her hands steady. She had one chance, one shot to stop the first strike before it hit. The Council's fleet had now moved from behind the moon. Their ships were massive, smooth silver, shaped like knives with glowing blue cores, and there were many of them, far more than Earth had expected. But Reyna wasn't watching them with fear, she was watching them with calculation. She stood inside Skyburn's core chamber with Lena, Tariq, and Ju. Their faces lit by data screens and pulsing alarms. Each beep meant power was building. Each second meant the weapon was charging. Lena pointed at the largest alien ship. "That one's scanning Paris," she said. "It'll fire in less than 10 minutes. Reyna's voice was cold. "Then we fire in 8. Tariq spoke quickly, his fingers flying over the control panel. "Their shields rotate every 6.2 seconds. We have to time it perfectly or the beam won't break through." "Can we do it?" Reyna asked. "If the AI doesn't glitch and the cannon doesn't melt, maybe," Tariq replied. Ju was already locking in coordinates, his voice low. I didn't build this weapon to sit in silence. Neither did I, Reyna said. High above Earth, the first alien ship opened its weapon bay. It aimed not with missiles, but with a glowing beam of energy that charged like a living sun. The skies over Paris turned blue, then purple, then red. Children see. Read, parents held them close. The world held its breath. Reyna gave the order. Fire. Skyburn unleashed its fury. A beam of light hotter than the core of a star ripped through Earth's atmosphere and struck the alien ship. The timing was perfect. Right as the shields rotated, the blast tore through the vessel's side. Sparks exploded into space, then silence, then a chain reaction. One by one, the alien ship's systems collapsed, and finally, boom! The sky lit up like dawn. Across Earth, people screamed, not in fear but in shock. They had just seen something no one expected. A human weapon destroying a galactic warship. The Council's fleet paused. For the first time, they hesitated. Reyna knew they were confused. She used that moment. Send the message, she ordered. Tariq tapped a key. Across every Council ship, a new signal appeared. Simple, direct. This is Earth, we are not afraid. But the Council did not leave. Instead, they opened fire. 5 alien ships launched beams at once, targeting London, Cairo, and New Delhi. Reyna's team acted fast. Skyburn redirected power to orbital drones. Tiny spheres armed with plasma bursts. The drones couldn't destroy warships, but they could deflect fire. One drone exploded, then another. 2 beams were blocked. But the third one, aimed at New Delhi, broke through. The beam missed the city center, but still struck a power plant outside. The ground shook. Thousands screamed. Reyna's voice stayed calm. Report, Ju replied. We lost 2 drones and 20% power, Tariq added, but they're not attacking again, not yet. Reyna nodded. They expected fear, she said. We gave them fire. In orbit, the Council's command ship pulled back. Inside, alien commanders argued in strange clicks and warbles. One of them whispered in translation, humans are not primitive, they are dangerous. They had come to Earth expecting surrender. Instead, they saw defiance. Instead, they saw strategy. Reyna looked at her team. Their faces were tired, covered in sweat, and filled with fire. This is just the first day, she said. They'll be back stronger, Lena replied. Then we hit harder, Tariq smirked. Let's make sure they remember Earth's name. Reyna didn't smile. She just pointed to the next target. Another warship had moved into position above Rio de Janeiro. The timer had reset, 4 hours until the next strike. But this time, Earth wasn't waiting. This time, Earth would strike first. And as the stars watched silently, the fire spread. It drifted silently through space. No lights, no signals, no movement. Just a single black ship heading toward the Council's fleet. The aliens scanned it twice. No life signs, no weapons detected. To them, it looked like a dead satellite, useless, harmless. They were wrong. Captain Reyna Cole stood deep inside Earth's hidden command center, her eyes locked on the screen. One small dot blinked red. That dot was Ghost 1, an old transport ship, now rebuilt as a weapon. Inside the Ghost ship was no crew, only code, Tariq's virus, Ju's explosives, and Lena's stealth modifications. Reyna's voice was low. They sent us threats, she said. Let's send them silence. 3 days had passed since the first alien strike. Skyburn had fired twice more, defending cities and destroying 1 enemy cruiser. But the enemy kept coming. Each day brought new waves. Each wave tested Earth's strength. Reyna knew Earth couldn't keep this up forever. So she activated the last option, the Ghost Ship Protocol. It was simple. Send a fake Earth ship into the enemy fleet, make it look dead, but fill it with everything Earth had learned about the enemy's code, their shields, their language, their weaknesses. The Council fleet spotted the Ghost ship and prepared to destroy it, but then the ship sent a strange signal, a request, surrender file. Incoming. The aliens paused. Was Earth giving up? They opened the signal. Inside the message was only one thing, a countdown, 10, 9, 8. By the time the aliens realized it wasn't a surrender, the ship exploded. Not a normal explosion, but a coded energy blast that disabled every shield in a 50-mile radius. 3 Council ships went dark. 2 more drifted into each other and cracked open. The explosion didn't just break metal, It broke the council's rhythm. Back on Earth, cheers echoed through the bunkers. People who had once hidden now ran outside. They pointed at the night sky. They knew something had changed. Reyna stood silent. She didn't cheer. She watched. "Wait for it," she whispered. The council's largest ship turned sharply and began retreating. They were pulling back, not leaving, but definitely shaken. Ju looked at the screen. "That wasn't just a win," he said. "That was a message." Reyna nodded. "Now they know we're not just reacting. We're planning." The council didn't understand fear, but they understood strategy, and now they saw Earth was capable of both. Inside the council chamber, deep in orbit, the alien generals held emergency meetings. They argued in low, clicking voices. Some wanted to attack harder. Others now believed Earth might be more advanced than reported. One general, taller than the rest, raised his clawed hand and spoke. "We thought they were children with sticks. They are wolves hiding in the skin of prey." The council sent no message that day. For the first time, Earth heard silence, and Reyna knew. That silence was louder than any threat. Back on Earth, Project Skyburn continued to upgrade. Tariq was building a second virus, stronger, faster. Ju began working on energy weapons that didn't exist even in theory before. And Lena started training new pilots, people who were once bus drivers, engineers, cooks, anyone. Who could fly, anyone who could fight. Reyna looked over the new team, young, scared, determined. She didn't give a speech. She didn't need to. Her presence was enough. They knew why they were here. The ghost ship had given Earth time, but time was not victory. The war was still coming, bigger, louder, deadlier. Reyna looked at the stars through the base's ceiling screen. Somewhere out there, another fleet was on the move, maybe bigger, maybe smarter, maybe worse. But Earth was ready now. No longer just a blue planet at the edge of space, but a fire rising in the dark. A fire with teeth, Reyna whispered to herself. "Let them come. We've already started writing their names in the flames." For 2 days, there was nothing. No signals, no threats, no movement from the council's fleet. The stars had gone quiet, and Earth held its breath. Inside the underground command base, Captain Reyna Cole didn't trust the silence. Her team called it a break. She called it a trap. Reyna had fought too many battles to believe in peace without reason. The enemy wasn't scared. They were thinking, calculating, planning something worse. Then, on the third night, the silence broke. Not with an explosion, not with weapons, but with a voice. It wasn't angry. It wasn't loud. It was calm, cold. "Human Commander Reyna Cole," the voice said across all frequencies. "Let us speak." Reyna froze. They had never used her name before. That meant they had been listening, watching, learning. The Galactic Council requested a private channel, no cameras, no public message, just a one-on-one communication. The President of Earth wanted to join, so did the generals. Reyna said no. She would speak alone, because this wasn't politics. This was war, and warriors speak in different ways. She sat in the dark chamber, headset on, screen blank. The voice returned, alien but clear. "Your resistance has earned our attention. Your survival, our concern." Reyna's voice was calm. "You threatened our cities. You killed our people. You don't get to act surprised that we fought back." The voice answered, "Your strength is impressive but misplaced. Join us and you will be protected. Fight us and you will be destroyed." Reyna leaned closer to the mic. "We didn't survive this long by being protected. We survived by standing up." The screen lit up. A new file appeared. Coordinates, somewhere deep in council space. "We offer peace," the voice said. "Send one ship to these coordinates. A final chance." The message ended. The room stayed dark, but Reyna's mind was racing. Was it a trap, a trick, or a real offer? Tariq, Lena, and Ju stood by her side. Each one gave a different opinion. Tariq wanted to send a probe. Ju wanted to ignore it. Lena wanted to go herself. Reyna made a decision. "We send a team," she said, "but we don't go blind." Within 6 hours, they prepared a stealth cruiser, small, fast, invisible to most scans. They called it Whisper. It carried 2 human crew and 1 advanced AI core. The mission: go to the coordinates, record everything, and return. Reyna chose the crew herself. Lena piloted. Tariq handled the systems. Ju stayed behind to prepare defenses in case it was a trick. The Whisper launched quietly from Earth's dark side, slipped past the Council's outer patrols, and entered uncharted space. What they found shocked them. Not a fleet, not a weapon, but a station, massive and ancient, floating alone in a starless void. The Whisper entered slowly. Inside the station, a hologram appeared. An alien not made of flesh, but of light. It spoke. This is the origin. The Council was born here, and it will end here if war continues. The alien showed images of other worlds the Council had burned, civilizations erased, races wiped clean from memory, but then it showed Earth. It paused. You are the first to fight back with purpose, the first to aim not to survive but to challenge. The hologram offered a new deal, a ceasefire, a chance for Earth to become a Council observer, limited power, no attacks but no expansion, no growth. Lena frowned. Tariq scanned the room. There were weapons hidden in the walls. It was peace wrapped in a cage, a shiny collar for a proud beast. Lena whispered through the comm. Reyna won't accept this, Tariq agreed. She'd rather burn. They returned home, shared the footage, and waited. Reyna watched it all, every word, every pause, every hidden threat. Then she stood before Earth's leaders. They offer us a cage with soft pillows, she said, but we are not dogs. Some in the room disagreed. Others were afraid. But the people, those who had lost homes, families, friends, they stood with Reyna. They wanted freedom, even if it came with fire. Reyna looked at the stars again that night. The silence was gone. The war was speaking, but Earth was ready to answer. It started with a whisper, a coded message hidden inside solar flares. No one in the galaxy noticed, but Earth did. Reyna did. The Council thought Earth would stay still, wait for permission, fear the stars. But Reyna Cole had other plans. She gathered her team in the darkest corner of Earth's sky. The base was hidden beneath Antarctica's ice, cold, silent, alive. A secret lab called Inferno. There she showed them the impossible. A map of Council-controlled space. Lines of defense, shield grids. And in the middle, a sun. A sun they never thought could be reached. Reyna pointed at it. This star powers their main war base, she said. If we burn it, we burn them. Ju looked stunned. You want to detonate a solar core bomb inside a living star? Tariq added. Reyna nodded. It's our only chance. It was suicide. It was madness. But it was genius, Lena whispered. If we make it back, they'll never recover, Reyna replied. We're not here to make it back. We're here to make history. They launched the Ember, a human-built cruiser made with stolen alien tech, fast, small, invisible, loaded with a prototype solar core bomb. It carried only 5 people. Reyna, Lena, Tariq, Ju, and Arjun, a quiet engineer who had once built mining drills for Mars. Now he was building the weapon that could destroy a sun. The Ember slipped through the stars like a ghost, passing black holes, abandoned moons, and wreckage from old wars. Every second, the bomb grew hotter. So did their nerves. Reyna sat in the pilot seat, eyes fixed on the growing star ahead. It wasn't just bright, it was alive, roaring with magnetic storms and solar wind. Inside the war base orbiting the star, Council leaders watched sensors flash red. One of them hissed. Something is coming, another shouted. It's human. But by the time they sent fighters, it was too late. The Ember had reached the sun's edge. The ship began to melt. Panels cracked. Oxygen hissed through the walls. Reyna gave the order. Seal the bomb chamber. Arjun locked it in. A glowing sphere pulsed in the center, pure energy trapped inside a cage of Earth's finest steel. It had one purpose, to collapse the star from within. Tariq set the detonation timer. Once we trigger it, we have 60 seconds to escape. Zhu checked the engines. We won't make it far. Reyna didn't blink. We only need to make it far enough to be remembered. Lena turned the ship into the solar wind. The Ember shivered, burned, groaned, but it kept flying. One last push, one final strike. Then, the trigger was pressed. The bomb dropped into the sun like a seed. Silence, then light, then fire. The star changed. It screamed without sound. It twisted in color. Then it collapsed. The Council's war base melted in seconds. Ships vanished in waves of solar flame. Energy exploded outward, touching the edge of nearby systems, wiping their memory clean. The galaxy blinked, and a part of it was gone. But the Ember, It didn't vanish. Reyna had one last move. Ju had secretly built a shield pod, small and nearly useless, but just enough. He pushed Reyna into it, forced the hatch shut, then activated the emergency eject. Reyna screamed from inside, "Ju, no!" But it was done. Ju, Tariq, Lena, and Arjun stayed behind, their faces calm. No fear, only pride. The ember dissolved into fire. The crew became legends. Reyna floated through the edge of the explosion, her pod spinning, burning, but holding. Barely. She was found days later by a rescue drone sent from Mars. Her heart was weak, her skin burned, but her mind was still on fire. She returned to Earth not as a soldier, but as a symbol, the one who led humanity's fire to touch the stars. And the Council? They didn't send another message, because there was no more Council base, only silence, real silence. This time Reyna trusted it. The stars were different now. One of them was gone, not dimmed, not faded, gone. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. A sun destroyed, a war base turned to ash, and behind it, a name whispered in every dark corner of space. Earth. Captain Reyna Cole stood on the edge of a glass balcony. Above her, the stars blinked slowly. Below, the people of Earth watched her in silence. She didn't wave, she didn't smile, she just stood, I've alone. The others hadn't come back. Lena, Tariq, Ju, Arjun, they gave their lives for the mission. The people called them heroes. Reyna called them family. The Galactic Council was no more. After the Ember's final strike, the remaining Council fleets retreated. Many ships drifted without orders. Some alien factions broke away. Others began talks of peace. Real peace. Not controlled, not threatened. Reyna didn't join the meetings. She had no interest in being a diplomat. She had given her answer already, in fire. For the first time in human history, Earth was not just a planet, it was a power. Not by trade, not by vote, by survival, by defiance. Aliens who once looked down on humanity now looked across, equal, wary, respectful. A new galactic order began to take shape, and Earth had a seat, but Reyna never sat in it. She chose the shadows where fire is born. One night a message arrived. Not a threat, not a warning, but a whisper from a young alien captain far across the stars. We were taught to fear Earth, it said. Now we hope to learn from it. Reyna closed the message. She said nothing. But a small nod escaped her. Maybe that was enough. In a memorial garden under the mountains, 4 statues stood in silence. Lena, the skyfighter, Tariq, the mind behind the code, Ju, the fire builder, Arjun, the quiet spark. Beneath them, one sentence was carved. They lit the stars with Earth's answer. Years passed. New ships flew across the void, some human, some alien, some both. Children learned about the war in books. They read about the Council, the silence, the threats, and how Earth had replied, not with words, but with fire. One day, a little girl stood near Reyna's statue and asked, why didn't she run? Her teacher smiled, because she didn't know how. Reyna's name became more than history. It became a lesson, a warning, and a promise. If you threaten Earth, be ready, because Earth may be quiet, may be patient, but Earth answers, and its answer echoes in fire.